Could the solemn definition of a fifth Marian dogma by Pope Benedict XVI actually assist interreligious dialogue? I believe so. And there are others, like Cardinal Topo from India, that also believe so. Welcome to MaryCast. This is Dr. Mark Miravalli, Professor of Theology and Mariology from the Franciscan University of Steubenville. And we're in a series talking about how the fifth Marian dogma could actually assist dialogue between religions. We are speaking about a fifth Marian dogma guide for non-Christians. And continuing from our last segment, we're talking about the Christian idea of God creating the universe, God creating man, and the first man and woman sinning. And therefore there is a need for a redeemer. Now that term redeemer is a keynote, but let's go back to basics from a Christian perspective. When God the Father sees that Adam and Eve has sinned, God the Father sends His Son to, in fact, be a redeemer. And again, I'm trying to get to the heart of Christian belief. There's different Christian ideas about whether God the Son would have come in any case, but what we do know is that when man sinned, from a Christian perspective, the just compensation for the sins of mankind, the justice due to God, a perfect, infinite being, could not be paid by a created being. This is a fundamental Christian belief. And therefore God the Father sent God the Son, whom we would call the Word, to be made flesh, to be made man, and to represent humanity in trying to reconcile God with man. And this is an act that's a deep Christian mystery, that God the Son, while maintaining His full divinity, what we would call His full divine nature, takes on a fully human nature. And He does so through the consent of a human woman, and that is Mary. Now, once again, the Christian idea of redemption is that man sinned, the human family sinned in the original sin of Adam and Eve, and that put humanity at a loss of reconciling itself with God. Man couldn't do it because the human family, through the first human parents, had offended an infinitely good and just God. And therefore, when you commit a sin, an offense against an infinite being, you need an infinite recompense. You need an infinite response in justice and mercy, in apology for a proper reconciliation. It is true that based on whom we offend, we have the issue of who can then reconcile that offense, and really how big the offense is. Take, for example, if we were to push a friend down the stairs. This is not a delightful idea, but for the sake of example, this would be a wrong and a dangerous thing. It would be different, though, if we pushed the governor of our state down the stairs. Ultimately, it would be different regardless of our political agendas if we pushed the President of the United States down the stairs. Or if someone ran through the crowd when Pope Benedict was in our country and pushed Pope Benedict down the stairs. So much more when we're offending an infinite being. The nature of the offense has something critical to do with whom we are offending. So when Adam and Eve offended God, we needed just compensation for this sin and for all the sins of humanity combined. And therefore, it is the Christian belief that only God the Son could make this just compensation. But He makes it in the name of the human family by becoming human Himself. And that's the mystery of what Christians call the Incarnation, where the second person of the Trinity, while remaining fully God, takes on a human nature. He becomes a human individual in terms of His nature, while remaining a divine person and keeping His divine nature to save us. Now, he does so, and now we go to the Bible, again, the fundamental Christian source of revelation. We now go to what's called the New Testament, the written version of the new covenant that God makes with humanity through this second person of the Trinity made man, Jesus Christ. So we go to the Annunciation, which is where an angel comes as a messenger of God the Father to ask a human being, and in fact in this case a perfect human being, Mary, the Virgin of Nazareth, if she would agree to be the woman and therefore the mother by which God the Son would become man. In Christian belief, Mary says yes to this invitation, and this is a profound reality that God wanted a human being and God wanted a woman involved in the redemption of the human family. Now we keep using this word redemption. What does it mean? Literally, in Latin, redimere means to buy back. In this context, we're talking about buying back the human family from the control, the power, the influence, really the dominion of Satan. As we talked about in the first segment, it was Satan, Christians believe, that enticed the woman to lead the man, the Eve to the Adam connection in the book of Genesis, to reject God. And that lost grace, that lost the salvation element for the human family. So God the Father is saying, I want to use the same instruments of my creation to return grace, which is my life, the life of God in human beings, and the saving life of participation in the life of God. I want to return that, God the Father says, through the same means by which it was lost. And that means a man, a woman, and a tree. In the New Testament, we have the woman Mary say yes to bring God the Son to become God the incarnate one, which again means what? It means God the Son doesn't lose his divinity. He keeps his divine person, his divine intellect and his will, but he takes on a fully human nature, just like what we received from our mothers, a nature like our own. So Mary says yes to giving God the Word, God the Son, a fully human nature. And it's through that human nature that God the Son, made man, will redeem, will buy back humanity from Satan and reconcile God the Father with humanity. So when we call Jesus Christ the Word made flesh, that's the Christian concept that yes, God the Word took on a human nature for the goal, in this case, of redeeming us, of saving us, of having our slavery to Satan in the world broken by a sacrifice of reconciliation by Jesus Christ. So we note two things here. Number one, that God becomes man through the instrumentality, through the cooperation, and that just means working with, of a human being who was a woman. And that's why Christians, even in the early concept of Christianity, called this woman the new Eve, the new mother of the living. That this woman said yes so that the Savior, the God the Son, could enter our life, our existence, to buy us back, to redeem us, to reconcile us with God the Father. So we see that the woman is not God, but the woman is a key participant, a key person working with the Redeemer in this work of human salvation. I'm so grateful you're with us at MaryCast in this fifth Marian Dogma, a series for non-Christians. And in part 3, we're going to bring this all together and focus on what Jesus does and also what this woman Mary does to save humanity, and also what we are called to do from a Christian perspective to also save ourselves and to participate in the salvation of others. Stay with us. Thanks for watching. God bless you.